For decades, the global economy has sold a specific vision of progress, hyper-connected, efficient, and borderless. But zoom in and a different reality emerges. Across the world, a systemic crisis of capital flight is draining independent communities to fuel a centralized machine. Sociologists describe this as the dismantling of Gemeinschaft, the tight-knit communities bound by shared history and norms. We are instead pushed into Gesellschaft, an atomized space where people are treated as isolated consumers, entirely dependent on global supply chains. The consequences manifest as severe physical and social decay. When local productive capacity vanishes, the towns that built those industries are left hollowed out. The financial wealth, the raw materials, and the brightest human talent extracted from these towns do not simply vanish. They are aggressively funneled into a handful of massive, centralized global metropolises. This destruction of community assets serves a specific function. It is a deliberate feature of an economic architecture designed to centralize wealth by dismantling local independence. The primary architects of this extraction are traditional multinational consulting firms. Under their methodologies, a community is reduced to a cost center, and people are viewed simply as labor units to be optimized or eliminated. These firms rarely win through superior products. They maintain control through extreme information asymmetry. When a local cooperative negotiates with a multinational, they are up against massive datasets and legions of analysts. Armed with that data advantage, external corporations force local suppliers into highly complex contracts, riddled with hidden margins and exit penalties. The local community ends up selling its assets far below their actual market value. As long as this severe data blindness persists, local economies have no leverage. They will continue to bleed talent and resources into the global machine. A powerful counter-movement is quietly gaining ground, anchored in economist Oren Cass's concept of productive pluralism. This framework rejects the pursuit of abstract GDP growth, measuring success instead by a community's ability to support local production and self-sustaining families. In practice, this takes the form of community wealth building. Rather than trying to attract foreign investment, cities like Preston focus inward, restructuring their economies to prioritize local asset ownership and keeping generated wealth circulating within city limits. Making this pivot requires a new kind of protagonist, the community-focused consultant. Rather than extracting value for external shareholders, these new firms act as ecosystem orchestrators for the towns they serve. They design systems that actively prioritize local job creation and skills training, like apprenticeships, while systematically weeding out contracts that favor outside financial speculation over actual capital investment. By arming traditional communities with democratized AI and semantic technology, these orchestrators turn a desperate defense against global monopolies into a highly coordinated strategy. The first weapon in this new technological arsenal is semantic technology. Instead of relying on rigid, isolated spreadsheets, consultants build knowledge graphs that capture the unique complexity and hidden assets of a specific local area. These graphs map every available tool, free space, and specific skill in the area. When a large local anchor institution issues a contract, the system instantly identifies local suppliers capable of fulfilling it, keeping the capital entirely within the community network. To protect this newly mapped wealth, communities are establishing data cooperatives powered by a data architecture called federated learning. Historically, participating in the AI economy meant handing sensitive raw data to a central corporate server. Now, the AI model is downloaded directly to local devices of farmers and manufacturers. It learns locally, and only encrypted updates are sent to the master model. Federated learning gives independent communities the advanced predictive analytics of a multinational corporation while guaranteeing absolute legal and physical sovereignty over their own data. The third weapon levels the administrative playing field, multi-agent AI systems. Small enterprises often lack specialized departments, but they can now deploy a virtual team of AI agents designed to handle specific corporate roles. One agent crawls complex municipal tenders, another scans competitors' pricing, and a third identifies exploitative fine print. Together, they instantly draft legally sound counteroffers that perfectly align with the community's own strategic goals. There is also an AI actuary to solve the financing gap. Traditional banks often refuse credit to local businesses without global financial histories. This system calculates risk using alternative local data, like historical norm compliance, community reputation, and environmental stewardship. By deploying these autonomous tools, communities actively destroy the information asymmetry that outside corporations have weaponized against them for decades. The ultimate defensive layer is converting abstract cultural values and local laws into hard mathematical infrastructure, a process known as norms as code. Using smart contracts, a town writes priorities directly into the software layer. If a proposed transaction violates environmental limits or local hiring quotas, the software instantly blocks it. Continuously scanning financial obligations, it creates an auditable trail, neutralizing extractive deals automatically. Technology has successfully converted fragile, unspoken cultural norms into unyielding, automated transactional armor. Because these local economies now operate with highly advanced technological ecosystems, the historical pipeline of the brain drain is finally flowing in reverse. Elite engineers, mathematicians, and scientists no longer have to abandon their homes for global tech hubs just to work on advanced systems. The challenge and the capital are now available right where they grew up. This repatriation of talent allows experts to apply their skills to the specific needs of their own people, building institutional capacity that remains rooted in place. By weaponizing cutting-edge intelligence, these communities are building a technical wall against extraction, turning the tools of globalism into the instruments of their own self-sustaining independence.